What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joshua Edwards, live from Brooklyn, New York. This is season 5, episode 2 of Joshua's Proximity. So, we all know Black Monday is underway. This is the time where NFL coaches, head coaches, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, special teams guys. This is the time where all those guys tend to get fired, man. But right now, the current job opens are the Jacksonville Jaguars, New England Patriots, New Orleans Saints, the Jets, and the Bears. Now, there is a kind of a situation that I'm not very too fond of. I think sometimes NFL owners and general managers have a quick trigger towards the black coaches to a certain extent. Gerard Mayo is out of New England his first season. Now, I want somebody to tell me who thought the New England Patriots would, one, be competitive or really had a shot at making the playoffs with that roster. New England, who did you sign in offseason? New England, what weapons do you have on the outside? New England, who is your running back? Like, y'all, New England has really messed this up for Gerard Mayo, and it's sad and it's bad that he is attached to this garbage, man, because right now New England is a dumpster fire. Drake May is really the only bright spot in New England. Yes, they got some okay pieces on the back end defensively, but if we're just talking about from an offensive standpoint in a league where you got to score points, they are terrible. It's not like Gerard Mayo had the roster like Matt Eberflus did. It's not like Gerard Mayo had the roster like Robert Saleh did. It's not even like Gerard Mayo had the roster like Doug Peterson did. And these guys were 2+ tenured head coaches. Robert Kraft fires him after one season, and it's not even his fault. Like, 4 wins? He has one more win than what Bill Belichick had last year. And, I mean, there was really no elevation in the roster, one, from a skill standpoint, and just 2, overall. Like, they're just bad overall. And it's okay. I just think that they did him wrong. It's not like a Dennis Allen situation. Like, all these other coaches that got fired this past season had a better roster than New England Patriots. I think that Gerard Mayo really did get the short end of the stick, but I mean, we tend to see that a lot of the times with black coaches. Let's just call it for what it is. We saw it with what's his name, the Cully guy from Houston. We saw it with Lovie Smith with Houston. We saw that also with the former coach for the Carolina Panthers that was with the Cardinals. Like, you're just seeing just a fast Ferris wheel when it comes to black head coaches, and they're obviously, we all know that they're on a short end of the leash. There's no obvious like a tie-dye situation. Like, I just think that they get the bad end of the stick and bad rep from time to time, and it's not their fault. So I mean, these are the coaches that are currently gone. Doug Peterson's gone. Gerard Mayo, Robert Saleh, Dennis Allen, Matt Eberflus, and Lou Anarumo. I think I said his last name right. Probably didn't. The Bengals defensive coordinator. So there's right now currently there's 5 openings. We don't know if Dallas is going to retain Mike McCarthy. And then there's another situation that might come available. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but we all know the coaches that need to get interviewed. The offensive coordinator for the Lions, Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Lions. Like, these are some of the highly touted OCs or former head coaches. We all know Mike Vrabel is probably going to get the New England Patriots job. Like, there's just certain things that are out there for certain guys, man. So I just want to transition just a little bit, though. Talk to me about my guy. My guy went from unplayable from a lot of people that kept saying, Josh, he is terrible. He is the worst draft pick since Jamarcus Russell. He went from unplayable to unstoppable. The last 2 weeks from Bryce Young, I have been extremely impressed. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't expect it. This is why he was drafted number 1 overall. Against the Atlanta Falcons, by say Carolina Panthers. Against the Atlanta Falcons, 251 passing yards, 24 rushing yards, 25 completions, 25 of 34 completions on attempts, 0 turnovers, 0 interceptions, 0 fumbles, 5 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 2 rushing. I just ask that you guys keep the same energy. I ask that y'all keep the same energy. David Canales, when he was asked about Bryce Young's play the last few weeks, he said it's a great feeling. It helps us to think about the draft and free agency with the lens knowing we got our guy. I just want y'all to keep the same energy. That's all that we ask. Don't sit here and tell me that he's not enough. I mean, we were killing the Atlanta Falcons. 425 total yards, 270 passing yards, 155 rushing, 6.5 yards per play. Like, this is what we can be. If we continue to build around Bryce Young, if we continue to establish the run game, if we continue to play mistake-free football, there's not a team really in the NFC South that we cannot beat. From a talent perspective, the Falcons are probably the most talented team in the South. There's not a team that we can't beat. There's no reason why next season we cannot win the South. Bryce Young is the guy. I just need you guys just to keep the same energy because y'all was not keeping that same energy earlier in the season when he got benched from unplayable to unstoppable Bryce Young. So we're in the playoffs, man. So I got to make my projections. The first game, Saturday, 4 p.m., Chargers versus Texans in Houston. I am going to go with – I like the Chargers in this matchup. I feel like the Texans might do it, but I like the Chargers in this matchup. Steelers versus Ravens. I'm not going to be biased. I think the Ravens win that. Broncos versus Bills. Broncos have no chance of winning this game. Give me the Bills. Packers versus Eagles. Packers just lost Christian Watson with the ACL injury. That is going to completely decimate that already thin or not really talented receiving core. So Eagles big. Commanders versus Bucks. Probably the most interesting game this weekend outside of the last game. In Tampa Bay, there's not a lot of rookie quarterbacks that are beating a Todd Bowles defense. So with that being said, I got to lean towards the Bucks on this one, man. And then really the most interesting game this weekend outside of maybe the Steelers and Ravens is the Vikings versus Rams. Now, if you guys remember that first matchup, the face mask with Sam Darnold in the end zone that ultimately led to a safety should have been a flag. The drive should have been sustained. Back in the same spot, the Vikings just got demolished last night against the Detroit Lions, 31-9. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going with the Vikings, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams pulled this off because they just got the Vikings numbers, man, especially the way that Sam Darnold looked last night. I'm staying away from this game if you're betting. Stay away from this game at all costs. And then we're going to wrap it up with the final awards this year. So my final awards, Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. By far the best running back in the NFL currently speaking. MVP. I think that we should just go ahead and just do a two-way tie between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Or if you want to extend the voting, let's see how they perform first game of the playoffs. I know that your vote's probably got to be in before, obviously, because it's a regular season award. But let's just see how the first round plays out. And then after that, I think that's how we can kind of delegate the MVP award. But if it was me, I'd just split it down the middle, give 2 trophies to both guys. Defensive Player of the Year, T.J. Watt. I was leaning toward Pat Surtain. But, I mean, T.J. Watt just really wrecks the game. And I think it's just one of those situations where guys are just trying to get him as many awards as his brother, as Aaron Donald, but he is as dominant. So T.J. Watt, Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels, no questions asked. And then the Defensive Rookie Year is Jared Verse. But like I said, once again, Josh's Proximity, we out.